Buddy, it's Michael again. Number one warning, nobody look at this. Don't pay any attention to this, but how you doing? We're going to start today. We're going to talk about competition. We're going to talk about some of the things that concern me about this society and competition. And one of the things I want to do and look at, again, is this issue about the NFL, the NBA, and all the money that these people generate, because, all the big issue here is to compete, and, you have these various teams, and everybody tries to do as best they can. But the big problem is, in this country, we have all these people that are unable to compete, so they don't feel like, at some point or another they're involved. So, they cheerlead, they spend a lot of money, and they do these things because they believe that this issue is, I don't know, maybe it's self-gratifying, I don't know. I've never been much on, team spirit type thing. I'd rather play the sport than to try to do anything about it. But, this competition issue, in a sense, is kind of a detriment for our community, especially the black community, because, with all the millionaires, those people don't live in our community. They go and they live in the other community with the wealthy people. And a lot of them, I guess they don't understand the fact that, in order for a specific community, especially the community that you came from, it has to be worked upon by example. It just can't be, wow, you heard about me in the paper and, these things are happening. So these are billions of dollars in revenue going into other people's community instead of going into the communities that the majority of the players represent. Because whether that's NBA, NFL, anything, these people don't live in that community. So the competition issue is to where who can take who away from this community. And, one of the big reasons why I even do this video is because, this kind of has to stop, in order for things to get any better. I don't see that it will, but, that's the reason why I'm doing it. So my purpose is for that. So, one of the other reasons is the fact that, the whole idea of community and a lot of these other things are the fact that when you look at our society, it's not like other societies. I've been to several other societies, around the world, and they don't think like this because they have, structures of honor and, elder, or, they have, even in the American Indian, it's a passing of time, to where, old people move out of the way, young people come in, they take over. Around here, that's all whack, so you have a system, but the system's not working. And again, I talked about that the other day about, the waitresses and the way it used to be as compared to it is now. And you could use that same instance with the banking systems and all of the things that did happen before, whether that was work ethic or anything else. So in a sense, it's all competition. It's all competition. But one thing I notice is the fact that, no one teaches the fact that, even though this may be a competition at some sorts, it's kind of hard to say, well, wait a minute, everybody can compete. So this whole society really doesn't have a second, third, fourth, or fifth place issue. It's all just got to win, and that's it. They don't, and then you find out when the competition goes bad, people get angry, and they feel less because they didn't make the top of the competition. I'm going to tell you something right now. There's an issue of a top 5 and a top 10. When you talk about a lot of people that go into these competitions and you come out 5 or 10, listen, man, you can actually turn that into something. It's like American Idol. Come on now. The real thing about the American Idol was the fact that anybody can be a singer as long as they have the right training, they begin with the right voice, and then from that point on you can move forward. But you see, they never tell you about how to come out of poverty, how to do this. They don't do that. It's really strange to me, because I would think that when you compete against someone, there has to be a clear winner And the other guys really have to aspire a little more. We really shouldn't call it a loser type thing because, okay, that's cool, but that's like bully stuff. Nobody's really a loser, because you're still breathing. You still have the life that you had. You still have an opportunity to compete again. It's as simple as that. So you have to look at it like that. You can't say, hey man, I lost, I'm mad, now I'm pissed off at everybody. Listen, I don't compete. I just don't. Because I used to do that at school, when I was younger. But the problem was the fact that, these guys always wanted to compete against me, and I'm a big guy. Now people think, oh yeah, this guy, I can take him down. Okay, yeah, good luck with that, man. That's great. But you see, when you're in the right, you really don't have any competition. Because it's like here's one of my statements right here. The reality of it is you're ashamed. Okay? Because here's what the issue of competition is. Because I'm saying I don't have any. I'm not ashamed. I really happen to like the fact that I'm ugly, I'm big, and I emulate my parents. I don't have a problem with that. This is what I am. You don't like that, I don't answer for you. I can't really make you this way. So I'm just saying that from my point of view, and the fact that this should be something you should look at, because in a sense, competition is really kind of useless unless you're in a NFL, NBA type situation where this competition issue is really going to help you. And here's another one. Here's another one right here. The competition issue comes into play because you're ashamed of yourself. You compete because you're not satisfied with your own behavior. You're not satisfied with what you've been given. So again, I ask the question to yourself, okay, if you're ashamed, then if you're not ashamed, then why do you buy cigarettes? It's not because it feels good. No way. There's no possible way. Well, I used to smoke. Believe me. I got tired of it, man. I got tired of choking and things in the morning. Then one of the big things that I really had was the fact that I didn't want to pay $1 a pack. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. I stopped at $1 a pack. I refused to pay $1 a pack. I said, this is madness, this is robbery, I'm not going to do it. I have standards. I don't want to compete just as everybody else is smoking. They can die if they want to. Okay, so here's the deal again. It's just not the cigarettes. Why you buy makeup? You're not happy with the bumps you got on your face? I am. Do you think the bumps on my face are actually going to get me a better job? I don't think so. I guarantee you, some of the fattest, ugliest people work for the county, city all day long. All they do is sit around. That's all they do. Blah, 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 get around, get fat. And I was seeing this Proactive commercial. This one lady actually had nerve to say, oh, I don't want this to happen to my child. Why not? How did your child get to be an exception? How did he begin to miss what was predestined for him? Because last time I checked, you can't circumvent. You can't circumvent what he wants to happen. It don't work like that. And if you do, there's side effects, there's issues, there's other things that go along with that. So, it would be the point to where I'm saying, okay, with the makeup type thing, I understand how women think that's available. My God, man, I saw on TV the other day, and I mean, this girl was fat. I'm just saying. I'm fat. Okay? Look at me. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm tall. I'm a real big guy. I don't have a problem with that. Why? Because it's been that way. I don't have a supermodel at my disposal. So I accept that. I go to another country. It may not be that way. Wasn't before, but that's not the point right now. The issue is, and here we go. Why compete with those people that in a sense really should be dead and are dead in a more of an uplifting type way? Because when someone is like, oh, you're dead to me, no, it's because of the fact that at some point you're really not in my best interest. You're here for yourself, and your concern is what's going on with you. I get it. Everybody should be, like I said before, you should have that self-confidence, and you should be able to move and do what you need to do in order to be successful in life and achieve your goals. You should do that. But see, the competition thing, man, it's like, look at how much money you spend on makeup. Look up how much money you spend on cigarettes. Look at how much money you spend on everyday life. Lying, Come on, man. You're trying to keep up a front. And see, that's competition. But see, competition from that level actually turns into what's called pride. Everybody knows about this. I do. I don't have none. Let me tell you something. This is a true story. Here's the deal. I learned a long time ago, right, when I was growing up. You know, my mom was really upset with me and my dad and stuff because I didn't like wearing shoes. But I'm going to tell you why this came into play, because early on, you know, when I was growing up, I was like, I don't know, like 10, 12 years old. So, you know, we started doing things. You know, one of the things was smoking weed. Smoked a lot of weed. One day I got a thing of weed, you know, it was probably a bag probably about this big, right? So, I started selling it, stuff like that. You know, I was about 12. But what I learned was the fact that, you know, people paid attention to me at school. And there was this one girl that was always trying to, oh, sounds like you got change in your pocket. And I'm like, well, yeah, so what? You know, but the thing was, you know, when you move into these type of situations that I was in, okay, and my mother knew about this, and the people in my community knew about it, you know, so it was just one of those things. But, you know, I found out later that people pay less attention to you when you don't try to appease them, when you don't try to look good, when you don't try. And later on, I'm going to do this thing called Why Be Nice. And in a sense, you should look at this as a competition level, because in a sense right now, and for me, you know, I've always thought this way simply because of the fact that I always say to myself, well, why should I be nice to people? I mean, I give everybody the same treatment that I would want to be treated. You know, I want somebody to tell me if I'm stupid or if I've done something wrong, or maybe, you know, I should do something that is advantageous for me. You know, my friends did that, but I don't have friends like that anymore. So they can't be friends. Because if you're not trying to help me, well, you can't call me your friend. I'm not your friend. We can't build a relationship because you're not trying to improve this relationship. So the competition again comes into play. So for me, it was a matter of saying, okay, I'm not going to wear shoes. I'm going to wear holes in my clothes all the time. I'm going to barely go to school, although I went to school every day. But I'm not going there to be nice. I'm going there to make this money. Why? Because the people already hated me in my community. We were the only black family on that side of town. Okay, so why should I be nice? You're not going to like me anyway, right? You're not going to be my friend. You're not going to stick up for me, right? So why should I be nice to you? So I have this issue of no shoes. Again, my mom was crazy. Dad, he's like, oh, you only buy you these clothes and everything. But it turns out it was in my best favor. See, because later on, me and my friend, Steve, we'd be walking down the street with these big old bags on us. And I got a car. But I got a backpack on, or I'm carrying this big old trash bag with my stuff in it. We don't get stopped. Why? We're sitting on the side of the road smoking, looking like bums. We don't be bothered. Good hint to use. It's always good for travel. You know, 10 pounds worth of the good stuff. Never be bothered. Stop buying with the car. And stop trying to look good. Stop trying to compete with people that really outmoney you. I figured that out too. Why compete? And then again, let's look at it like this. There's a spiritual issue involved with this competition thing. There's a good and a bad. Right? So you have to look at this and say, okay, who am I competing against? Because again, if you look at it, evil doesn't like evil. And if you're trying to keep up with these people that are, you know, they're dead in their spirit, in their minds, and even how they treat their own family members, and you're being nice to them, you are falling down the same rabbit hole. You're competing with a non-entity type person. This person has no concern, but you hang around them. You are them. This is that old cliche birds of a feather type thing. But it's okay. See, because again, I don't have to answer for you. So if we look at this correctly, and we say to ourselves, okay, competition is a good thing. It is. It's a good to many ways. That it's rare for competitors aren't corrupted. Right? It's very rare. So, that's why they do the steroids things, and they try to keep all the monitoring things. But it's all the rest of the competition. Whether that's, at the job, at school, at church. Please, people, put the big hats down. This isn't Big Hat Day. This is Serve God Day. But you guys come in here thinking, wow, oh, wow, nice hat. Yeah, okay, great, yeah, right. Come on, please stop it. It's not necessary. Let's stay focused on our reverence. Let's stay focused on our driving. Okay, let's stay focused on the fact that there's no reason to try and be friends with everybody because it's not going to work. Okay? And please, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. Hey man, try putting that money in our community. Okay? Can you do that? Can you at least pretend like you care? Okay? Just don't do the camps. There's other communities where these people come from, where these competitors come from. I don't see you trying to give them a bonus of $12 million. We'll talk about that later. But in the meantime, competition is a tricky thing. So you have to be wise. Okay? Think about your task. Think about the fact that, okay, well, if that person over there has that, that's great. I don't have to answer for them. If that person over there has that, listen, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't fabricate, don't try to go around or do that to try and compete with someone else. It's not necessary. Believe me, you're better off when you're consistently moving towards your own goals or your family's goals. Or in some instances, for me, it's like I try to do my community's goals. Okay? Because I was already taught to do family and these other things. But I'm not trying to compete against nobody else. Because, and I'm going to give you this one, this is closing stuff right here. See, I don't compete because I'm already bigger than everybody. The majority, I don't even think there may be a 3-5% people that might be taller than me out of the whole world. But I'm still big. So I don't have to compete. But you guys do. You compete because you're short. You compete because you're black, because you're Mexicans, because you're Hindus, because you do this, because of this and that and the other. And it's all wrong. Because remember, one body. One body. You're wasting your time. And all of you people that compete by making these companies and these corporations wealthy, you're going to answer for this. And it's sad, but it has to happen that way. So, look at the competition that you're dealing with and understand that person that you're trying to compete with, that's really not even the goal. So, I hope you stay understanding and you get this communication issue correctly. Because again, being able to understand and being able to relay this type of information to you is what I would like to do. So, maybe you should do that to someone else. Maybe tell some other people. Let's not worry about that. Let's try to get our goals together. Let's all come together and try to get on this body. And let's fill up the rest of this body. Let's find out who the eyes are. Let's find out who the ears are. I don't see the churches trying to find out who the gifted are. I don't see that. And that's bad. Because right now we're going to need these people so we can understand and begin to even develop our own gifts. And begin to look at this and say, wait a minute, let's see if we can collectively move together as we have been instructed. I know it's hard. It's one of those things that this society does not teach. And to tell you the truth, I've been in several other cultures. They don't either, really. So it's not that you shouldn't have friends. But I remember somebody saying that if this world is your friend, you're in the wrong place. And you're doing the wrong thing. So, hey, God bless. Try to pay attention. And then on top of that, stay focused and understand your surroundings. Because this competition thing, it's nothing to compete with. I'm part of the body. Whatever part I need to be, I will be instructed to be the part of that body. So, okay. We'll see what happens. We'll see you guys later. Thank you. God bless.